Good to meet you. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm sitting in my house as I have been for the past 6 months. So yeah, it's just like a wild time, if you could imagine. Yeah.
Of course. I want to start by talking about Heather and like how ultimately relatable this song is. Just the idea of wanting to become like the object of affection of your object of affection. What type of response did you get from fans when they first heard the song?
Well, I'd kind of been talking about the song prior to the album even coming out, and the truth is, it was never a single. It was just a random song on the album, but it was my favorite song off of the album, and people's response, when I wrote the song, I was really afraid of what people were going to think because the song is not, it's not a very nice song. It's kind of a mean song. And I was like, oh, they're going to say that I'm like toxic and mean. And I thought they were going to judge me, but I put the song out and everyone's just like, oh, like I've been there. And I was like, oh, cool. So I'm not insane. It was very good to know that I wasn't the only one who's felt that way and has felt jealous of someone. Yeah.
Is it, I mean, you just mentioned the idea of people saying that you might be toxic because of a song that you're going to put out, a piece of art that you're making. Does that concept, um, do you struggle with that? Does that concept ever stop you from making something that you feel in your heart or that's something that you want to say?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's definitely the thought crosses my mind, but apparently it doesn't really resonate with me because I do it anyways. I don't know. I think that with music in particular, you just kind of have to be as honest as possible. I think people aren't stupid. People can tell if something's not real or if you don't actually believe what you're saying. So I try my best to just be as honest as possible to a fault. Now my personal life is destroyed. I have no idea what's going on. Because everyone who talks to me is like, oh, he's going to write a song about me. And I'm like, maybe I will. Just don't do me wrong, and I won't write a song about you.
Yeah, that's interesting. In the song you talk about wanting to be like somebody else. And it almost could be a song about becoming famous, if you think about it that way too, like wanting to become the object of affection for fans in a way. Do you feel the pressure now that you are like, now that you have all these eyes on you to be something that you didn't, maybe that you weren't yesterday?
I think everybody feels a certain pressure to, be a certain thing to people. If you've just met somebody, you're not going to be like, here's all of my deepest, darkest secrets and, that kind of thing. And I think, yeah, I mean, to say that there isn't pressure would be just a blatant lie. I mean, of course, there's a lot of pressure. I feel like I am literally shrinking all the time. It's overwhelming, but with the pressure has come so much love and so much support, and to have all the fans be here and supporting me and being so kind, it helps to drown out anything that makes me feel negatively. And yeah, but I think any human being feels pressure to be something, but I try my best to just be as real as possible because you only get one shot to be a human in this life, at least, so might as well be what you are.
Absolutely. Now, the comment section for Heather is filled with people that are saying they relate to the song. They know how you feel. I love the ones that are like, if he's not half as pretty as Heather, how pretty is Heather? Like that is, I think, the funniest one to me. I think that's really great. But you were also quick to sort of respond to people that wanted to make assumptions about you, your sexuality, where your head is at. Why was it important to you to respond to that?
I think that for some reason, people, when they listen to music, they, at least my music, and I think a lot of people, is like they want to know everything about the inner workings of a song. But I think to me, music is just music. Like a song means what it means to you. When the song came out, there were all these people like trying to find the real Heather and trying to like do this and this and this. And I'm like, it doesn't actually matter though. Like if the song means something to you, then like it can mean that to you. I wrote it about a certain experience that I had, but if you have a specific experience with it, then like that's your experience and you're allowed to have it. And I think people get so caught up in all the drama and stuff that just doesn't matter. And I just hope that people, you know, just listen to the music and just let it be what it needs to be for them.
Yeah, you know, one of the people that's been giving you a shout out is Taylor Swift, and it must feel incredible to know that. Like, my understanding is that you grew up listening to her music and being a fan, and that there's a parallel there. Like, that is something that she's talked about as well, just letting the music be the music. Is that something that you internalized being a fan of hers, or is that something that you've just always felt about music in general?
I think I've always felt that way about music, you know. There was always a part of me as a kid where, like, I wouldn't want to look up the lyrics of a song because I would mishear them, and I'd like the misheard lyrics a little bit more than the actual lyrics and things like that.
Cool.
But I think Taylor in particular, you know, um, she's just always been a massive inspiration to me, the way that she can tell a story and say exactly what she wants to say. And I think that as a songwriter, there's a certain respect that needs to exist where, like, this is what I'm telling you, this is what I'm giving you, and everything else that you are getting about the song you are taking, you know, you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, like, when you write a song, you say exactly what you say in the song, and that's what you're giving, you know, and everything else is a little unnecessary and also like a little bit mean, a little intrusive.
But it's also nice to, you know, to let the listener discover for themselves what it means to them, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, the fact that so many people have reached out and told me that they relate to the song has made me feel so much better, because when I wrote the song, I felt so alone in my experience. And there's definitely a beautiful thing about sharing your experiences with a song, or sharing how you relate to the song and things like that, because it really is, music is a beautiful unanimous experience of, like, everybody gets to enjoy a song, you know. And so there's definitely so much beauty in it, and I'm so grateful that anybody cares, you know. The fact that people are wanting to dig into it is just like, I mean, I do, you know, I do understand, and I think that it's just a beautiful thing to have people care so much.
Yeah. Kid Crow has, I find that there's like diverse sound in Kid Crow, and it's obviously a collection of stories, but is there a theme or an overarching message with that collection of stories?
I think that Kid Crow to me was just kind of a coming of age story. You know, I wrote it about started writing it my freshman year of college, and it's just about this weird in between of being a child, but also being an adult, and kind of like the weird mixture. And also when you're young, your experiences are just so visceral. Like, you know, like one little thing happens, someone doesn't text you back, and you're like, it's the end of the world. Like, I have to write a song about this. It's that feeling. And I think that anybody who's ever existed can relate to that. And the album is just a coming of age story to me. It's kind of my introduction into the world. I didn't want to overspeak. I didn't want to give too much. I just wanted to be like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, I guess.
Yeah. And aside from, you know, getting attention from all those fans and someone like Taylor Swift, but you're getting attention from Elton John as well, like all these legends, is that, like, how does that feel to you? How do you wrap your head around all of that?
It's surreal, you know? I think that anytime anybody says anything nice about what I do, it's always going to be surreal, and I'm always going to be grateful, because nobody needs to say nice things, you know. And to have someone like Elton or Taylor, who are just so legendary and so important to so many people's lives, and, you know, basically raised entire generations under the wings of their music. It just means so much to me, and I never want to take that for granted. It's just always so surreal, and I text all my friends. I'm like, oh my god, and we're all like, whatever, Tom John. You know, it's just exciting, and those people raised me, and I'm just grateful for them. Yeah.
The people that are closest to you, those friends that you're talking about, and your family, what is their reaction to all this attention that you're getting, everything that's happening to you right now?
My friends think it's hilarious. They're the first ones to just drag me back down to earth. I get a little too up in the clouds. They're just like, yeah, Conan, but I remember when you were in middle school and all you wore was that one gray shirt every day. Like, you know, they're very they're my biggest cheerleaders, but they're also my biggest haters. And I appreciate that. I think that they're very excited for me, and everybody from my past has been so kind. It's very weird. Nobody expected it. Nobody from middle school would have ever thought that any of this would have happened. So they're just very excited for me, and I love them. They're the people who keep me feeling like myself.
Nice to have that for balance, right? Yeah. So what do you see moving forward? Are you like picturing 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what you want things to look like, what you want your career to be like?
I never thought I'd make it this far. So it's hard for me because this is more than I ever expected ever. I honestly didn't even think I'd live to this long. So to say that I have a 5-year plan would be a little insane because I can't even like really think of what I'm going to do tomorrow. But if anything, I just hope that I make good music and that people find comfort in what I make. You know, I find comfort in making the songs. And I just hope that I'm happy. I hope that I get to tour a bunch and meet a bunch of people, and I hope that I fall in love. I hope that all of the normal human things happen. And yeah, I just want to make a bunch of music.